On this week's episode of Roundabout U, Campus Lights takes the stage at Lovett Auditorium.
Murray State University celebrates Martin Luther King Day.
And we also prepare you for this year's West Kentucky Polar Plunge.
And finally, the Eagle Gallery plays on patterns.
I'm Brianna Sill.
And I'm Shelby Sisson. Welcome to Roundabout U.
Campus Lights at Murray State is the longest-running student-produced and performed musical in the South. The goal of Campus Lights is to raise money for music scholarships at Murray State.
The tradition continued this year as the organization produced the musical Hairspray.
Much work goes into each Campus Lights production. Hairspray was no different as students arrived to campus in early January to begin working on the musical. From building sets, memorizing and rehearsing lines, and practicing music, every student involved had a unique role.
Rehearsals are awesome. It's kind of basically a musical theater boot camp. It's really, when they say that, they really mean it. We started last Monday. We've had rehearsals all day, every day. But it's such a fun time. Seriously, I've made a whole new family at Murray State that I otherwise wouldn't have met, wouldn't have known. And I love these people so much. I'm already almost sad. It's almost getting to the downhill slide because I just want to be with them all the time.
We go usually from 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. But they've been fun because everybody here has just got good energy, and with the music being high energy and stuff, everybody keeps in a good mood. So, 9 to 10 seems like a long time, but it's just been fun, man. It's been fun.
Last fall, Phi Mu Alpha and Sigma Alpha Iota selected the musical Hairspray to perform. Both organizations believe the musical would be a great fit for this year's Campus Lights because 2016 marks the 60th year of desegregation on Murray State's campus.
Well, Hairspray is really about a TV show, a dance show, and they're sort of breaking barriers with both integration, blacks and whites dancing together, as well as body image. People who might not be the perfect skinny dancer body type also being able to be on the show.
It was a good choice for us because it's fun. It's fairly new. There's a movie that came out, so it's fairly popular. Everyone likes it. It's also the 60th year of diversity here on campus, so I thought that we thought it would be cool to have that for the show because that's a big part of the show too. So it's also like a good mix, and I thought that it would be good for Murray State to have that show this year.
One of the unique things about Campus Lights is the production features students from all disciplines at Murray State.
It's really cool because, otherwise we might not even be able to see them because music majors are pretty cloistered in the Fine Arts building. So it's really nice to get to sort of meet new people, hang out with a different crowd. And like I said, they're all so talented, you couldn't really tell the music majors from the not music majors.
Students can kind of prove their worth, and it's really awesome to have the students that, are into the music, and then the students that their strong point is dancing, and they get to showcase that and kind of be a part of this whole team, but still do what they're best at. And I just think that's a super awesome thing that we have.
It's a great opportunity for theater majors, people who are non-theater majors, just to kind of work on a different type of skill set. They get to come together, they get to build sets, they get to see what it's like to manage a team, learn budgeting skills, learn what it's like to work with people, learn what it's like not to work with people. I think it's a great experience that you can take onto the real world because you can use it for any type of job that you're doing.
Not only is Campus Lights well received on campus, the community and alumni of Campus Lights show their support each year.
Murray State has been great to Campus Lights. They always try to promote what we're doing. They think it's awesome that it's all student-led. We get to rehearse in Lovett and Curris Center and all these great places that we need to rehearse and all the things that we need. Murray State has been great to Campus Lights, and they want to see it going, and they think it's awesome, and it's awesome to have all the support. The alumni are a big process of it. They always promote the show. They always get the word out. They always are excited to see the show, so we couldn't do it without the alumni, and they know where it came from. They started it, some of them, and they kept it going, and they know how important it is, so they always try to come back and give it back to what they started and what they've kept going. So the alumni are very important in this process, especially for Campus Lights.
Help Portrait is a global movement where photographers, hairstylists, and makeup artists use their talents and ideas to bring professionally done pictures to those in need. This year, local photographers from our region joined the movement to help people in our community. One photographer joining the movement is Shauna Munger. Shauna, thanks for joining us today.
No problem.
So just tell us in a little bit more detail what exactly is Help Portrait.
Okay, so Help Portrait is a nationally known philanthropy type thing to help bring professional photos to families that otherwise could not afford photos. So we like to get them in, we kind of pamper them a little bit with the hairstylists that volunteer and the makeup artists that volunteer, and then we bring them over and we guide them through, and we try to give them a great photograph for them.
So who can attend this event?
Anybody is welcome to attend, but we try to target those that otherwise could not afford a professional photograph.
So throughout the day, what can they expect once they get there?
So when they get there, we have a team of volunteers that help walk them through. They'll bring them over to their hairstylist and their makeup artist, and they'll have all that taken care of. And then the volunteer will walk them over to us. They get a card that has their name and information on it. We take their photos right then and there and kind of work with them. Sometimes children are a little more, hard to work with, but we work with them, and as photographers, we know how to work that. Right away, they are able to see their portraits on the computer and pick out what they want.
Is there a certain number of pictures or certain sizes that the families receive?
So we can either give them an 8x10 portrait, or we can have them emailed to them, or we can give them a CD with the photos on there. There's usually probably no more than 5 photos that they would get. But the 8x10s, if they choose to do that, or the CDs, are available at Needline for pickup a week after the event.
How do families sign up for this event?
They just show up. No appointment needed, just come, and then we'll walk you through everything.
So when and where does this event take place?
So the event is this February 6th, it's a Saturday, at the Robert O. Miller Conference Center, downtown Murray, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
And how long have you personally been helping with this event?
This is the 3rd year for me to volunteer and help with the event.
Do you have a favorite memory, or?
Last year, there was an older lady that I worked with that somehow knew my grandparents, and so that was just really neat because she was so sweet and just easy to talk to.
Well, thank you for being on the show and telling us about this event. Good luck with this year.
Thank you.
Another community effort to help those in need took place on Martin Luther King Day. Murray State pulled out all the stops to honor one of our nation's greatest leaders. The campus held a day of service in honor of Dr. King and his great works. The events began the night before Martin Luther King Jr. Day, with a march across campus going from Pogue Library to Elizabeth College. Once participants reached Elizabeth, they received hot chocolate and listened to Dr. King's famous I Have a Dream speech before a candlelight vigil. This chance to reflect is very important to the community.
A couple reasons this is significant. One, because this is the 60th anniversary of desegregation at Murray State University, and so it helps us reflect on some of the challenges the nation was facing at that time as it related to desegregating our campuses and making it inclusive for everyone. And as we have looked at national events across the world and across our nation that have been challenging as it relates to race and issues in our communities and policing and all sorts of things that we have seen challenges for us, that we can reflect on what we need to do to move forward in a positive way and to learn how to work together and how to talk about race. And Dr. King's message was for us to solve these problems together in a spirit of love. And so this is particularly significant and timely for the times that we're facing right now.
The same speech is played every year for this event and holds a special place in the hearts of participants.
We always listen to the I Have a Dream speech because it kind of capsulizes everything that we're trying to do and helps to remind us of where we've come and where we want to go, because that is the beauty of that speech. It helps to remind you of where we have been.
The next morning, Martin Luther King Jr. Day began with a breakfast and a donation drive. Attendees of the breakfast were encouraged to bring donations from many different area nonprofit organizations in honor of Dr. King himself.
This event was really important to me because it not only brings back Dr. Martin Luther King's memory, but also it just shows that we can all come together to support a good cause.
At breakfast, guests enjoyed good food and music before several speakers stood in honor of Dr. King, including Murray State University President Dr. Davies, Murray City Mayor Jack Rose, and keynote speaker Dr. Curtis Daniel. These speakers touched on many topics that were important to the community and the speakers themselves.
The fortitude that how it all started with Dr. King, with his peaceful demonstrations. He knew it was needful, especially after the situation with the late Rosa Parks, and that's what sparked Dr. Martin Luther King to say, listen, we need to do something about this. The laws has got to be changed. Equality must be for all people. And because of that, by the fight, and they lost their lives. Many were hurt, many were killed, even in Montgomery in the march that took place. But as a result of that, there was change.
Organizers hoped that this event would inspire all those attending to step forward within their own communities.
We need leaders, just like Dr. King was. And we need those that will take leadership roles and take the mantle, take the torch that Dr. King laid. He laid his life for so many of us to enjoy what we have. So what we need now in the 21st century, we need more leaders in the forefront in the area of education, in the area of our young people to help them excel. And we need young people to go back to school and make something wonderful out of themselves. They can be leaders in the forefront, and at the same time they can offer something back not only to themselves, but also to their families and to their communities. And this was the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
And it is that dream that all attendees carried with them through the day.
The Polar Plunge marks its 7th year in Western Kentucky on Saturday, February 20th, when the biggest chill in Western Kentucky hits the water once again at Kentucky Dam Village State Resort Park. More than 800 people are expected to return to the park and take a chilly dip in Kentucky Lake. Money raised at the event goes to help support Special Olympics athletes in Western Kentucky and throughout the state. Here to tell us all about this year's plunge is Laura Miller. Welcome, Laura.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So first off, can you tell us a little bit about how you get so many people to plunge into the freezing cold water?
Well, it's just for a good cause. You know, we found that once people learn about our Special Olympic athletes and they know who the money is going for, it really wasn't as difficult as we thought it was going to be to convince people to take that plunge.
Can you tell us a little bit about what else is going on that day, the other activities and things people do?
Yeah, it is a really action-packed day full of a lot of fun. It's a high energy day. We start the day with a Polar 5K, so that's a run walk that people can take. It starts right next to the dam, and runners and walkers get to go across the dam and then back, and they loop around the lodge, and then they end near the convention center. And at the end of the race, then everyone converges at the convention center, and so our runners meet up with our plungers and our 2 chicken to plunge. And then we have a costume contest, we give awards, we get to meet the athletes. There's a lot of athlete participation. In fact, they pretty much run the show that day. And then after that, we all head down to the water and take that chili dip.
So how can people get involved with this the day of?
Well, we have different volunteer opportunities, but like I said, you can run, you can sign up to plunge, you can also sign up to be 2 chicken to plunge, because we know a lot of people want to take part in the event, they want to support our athletes, they want to join a team, a lot of teams of coworkers, you know, school groups join and participate, so you can be a 2 chicken, so you still get on the team, but you don't actually have to take that icy dip.
So can you tell us where and when the event takes place?
That's right, it'll be at Kentucky Dam Village. We plunge there off the courtesy dock, and like I said, we meet up at the convention center for registration. People can register now. They can register online by going to KentuckyPlunge.com. We have 5 plunges throughout the state, so just click on Western Kentucky Plunge. And you can also, if you want to wait and see what that weather might be like, you can wait and sign up even the day of. We'll let people register all the way up till the day.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, well, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Good luck with your event.
Thank you.
Murray State College of Education and Human Services saw a need and are working to fill it. Girls Who Code is a new club created to introduce the field of computer technology to girls at a young age, with the intention of increasing the percentage of women in the technological workforce. Murray State College of Education and Human Resources saw a need and are working to fill it. Girls Who Code is a new club created to introduce the field of computer technology to girls at a young age, with the intention of increasing the percentage of women in the technological workforce.
Well, I graduated from Murray State from the computer science department, computer science and math. and there weren't very many females with me in my major, but this is a problem across the country. And so the goal of this club is just to kind of get girls interested at a younger age, get them into computer science, get them thinking about it as a possible career for them. If you can get them in middle school age, just keep their options open, then they'll be more likely to keep it open in high school, and then maybe even go into it in college and have that career opportunity after college, because there are so many technology jobs that are available now, as everybody knows.
Girls Who Code was established just this year and met for the 4th week in a row on Murray State's campus. They use online software that incorporates hands-on activities for the girls to learn.
I would like to learn how to make my own video game and play it and make it public so other people can play it and I can beat them at it.
She has a cardboard thing so you can just hold it up to your face and look around. And it actually looks like you're there, but animated wise.
The tiniest mistake, like miss put in letter, wrong thing here or there, can totally change the program.
The club is open to girls from 6th grade all the way up to seniors in high school. The purpose of Murray State reaching out to girls at a younger age is to expose girls to the computer science field even before they choose a field of study for college.
I love how excited they get about programming. Some of them came in with a passion for it already, which really surprised me, how many have already looked into this as a career at such a young age. So that's encouraging and exciting to me.
Though the majority of members are currently girls, this club is open to both male and female middle and high schoolers.
It's open to all students in 6th through 12th grade. Of course, it's called Girls Who Code, but we do not prohibit boys from joining. So if any guys out there want to join Girls Who Code, they are welcome.
Even a few Murray State graduates have volunteered to help educate the club members on computer science and different job opportunities available in the workforce.
As parents, you know, this doesn't just apply to women either. I mean, even men in this area, you know, let your kids know that there's other options out there that you might not think of, as far as, you know, there's IT and computer science and software development and all that, you know, are really good jobs out there. And, you know, you can do anything you want to, from being in the health field to, you know, working at, you know, a firehouse, helping out them with their programs and stuff. So, you know, there's a lot of benefits for it.
There's not always a right or wrong answer to an artist. Creativity is the most powerful tool an artist can carry. Murray State University's Art Gallery has found a way to display some creative pieces while also giving art students the opportunity to learn and grow in their creativity. The Dimensional Drawing Project is a set of drawing kits that have been brought to Murray State's gallery. In essence, the kits are free for students to install in the gallery, and as a result, the students are able to use their own creativity to display the kit with their own flair.
And it's really open to any student. The student doesn't have to be an art major, have any background in art, but it's an interesting way, I've seen, to learn some of the basics about composition. It becomes a teaching opportunity for the student, a learning opportunity for the students, thereby a teaching opportunity for myself and for the other professors in the art school.
While most art galleries serve as a place for people to come and appreciate artwork and artists, it is also important for students to be in touch with the gallery and be able to work in a setting that is beneficial to their future ideas.
So I really want the gallery to be an extension of the classroom, and this was an excellent piece to have here at Murray State University and to engage the students and have them very active in the gallery space.
Expectations for participation may not have been very high during finals week and the semester wrapping up, but with the help of different faculty members, the show surpassed expectations.
Fitting it into a schedule where it would be before final projects, because that time the students are so busy and with their own works, this is fitting in right before that. So we were able to schedule it in to fit that parameter, but then also with help of the different faculty, I was able to schedule so that classroom environments could come in and not just individual students on a time basis. So we get waves of groups coming in, and that helped it immensely to get more participation. It's just having faculty involvement as well.
By having this show, The hope is that students who participate can get a better feeling about not only where they want to go with their artwork, but their career.
We have students here getting their BFAs, their BABS. They're going on into careers, hopefully in this path. So the more exposure to visiting artists, visiting professors, lecturers, anything they can get to give them more of a sense of what that career path could lead to and what that is, it's growth for them in every aspect of just interacting, hearing the conversations, and then they can hear stories of how could I relate and fit into that role as an artist.
As these students venture into their careers, there's only one thing they should always keep in mind.
The other thing that I also like to say to the students and the faculty, everything in this show, all the material, is available at your hardware store. There's nothing special about the material. What's special is what the hands do.
When most people think of Mark Twain, what usually pops into their minds is Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn. Although many know of his famous works, not too many know that he was a humorist and lecturer. Short stories such as The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County is where he got his literary notoriety, and shortly after that, he began to give lectures up and down the state of California. 63 years after Mark Twain's death, our very own Professor Valentine flung on the makeup and wig to create his own version of Mark Twain's lectures for audiences to enjoy.
Well, tonight is actually the celebration of the 180th anniversary of Mark Twain's birth. Mr. Welsh is the one who noted it was the 180th birthday, and he said, I'd like to do a benefit show, and the proceeds would go to University Theater and to Playhouse in the Park, which is sort of the essence of the spirit of the Town and Gown program. And he said, would you be interested in participating? And I said, you bet. I can't think of anything neater than that. And coincidentally, I had been working on a new version of the Mark Twain show, which is a little different from anything I've been doing. I've been doing it since, I guess, 73. But this version is less educational, biographical, and more theatrical. So its interest is in things that would be pleasing to the audience, that have dramatic impact or instructional impact, and it's not so much a linear description of where he lived and what he did, which my previous script was.
For decades and to this day, Professor Valentine dives into character, this time not just for a good cause, but for his and our indulgence. And as with most things, this too came from small beginnings.
December of '73 is the first time I ever portrayed Mark Twain as a character on stage. Actually, you won't believe this, but I'll tell you. I ran across a short story by Mark Twain, and I just thought it was the funniest thing I ever read. So I took it to my brother, who is a theater major at University of Kentucky, and I said, read this. And I came back a couple days later and said, the book is overdue at the library. I need the book. He said, I haven't had a chance to read it. And I got upset with him. He said, look, if you really want people to know this story, script it for the stage, we'll do it on stage. And then everybody will see it at once. And you won't have to carry the book around to everybody you know, which makes remarkably good sense. So that's what we did. We scripted it for stage. It's the first time we noticed that if you're going to do Mark Twain, the essence of Mark Twain's literature is that he's not necessarily telling a funny story, he's telling a story funny, and that means that the way he describes things and explains things and illuminates things is pretty important. And we didn't have a Mark Twain character in this, it was just dialogue between other characters. So we invented a Mark Twain character. Well, naturally he had to have a white suit and long white hair, mustache. Fortunately at the time I had everything except white hair. It took 4 hours to make me look like I was 70 years old. It doesn't take that much time anymore.
Professor Valentine hopes with this performance that you can learn a bit and be entertained at the same time. Ironically enough, that's exactly how he teaches his classes.
I hope they'll get engaged with Mark Twain as a writer and also a thinker. If they'll get engaged with Twain, I don't think they'll be disappointed. I think they'll have a great time. If they'll go read some of his works, they will not be sorry, and they'll understand a lot more about America. We hear a lot of talk about America now, mostly by people who really don't understand much about it. If you want to understand America, you have got to read Mark Twain. Hemingway said, Mark Twain, he said, all American literature begins with one book titled The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. And up until then, most American writers had been imitating the Europeans and thinking that anything American couldn't really be very good, so they would avoid it as a topic. But Twain, Samuel Clemens, thought there was a lot to tell about America, and it should be told, and told frequently, and told in an American voice, not like a European trying to figure out what these weird people are doing. And so he did it. He did it very well. I think Hemingway is probably very, very right. That's the reason Twain is still read, even though he upsets a lot of people. He could not possibly be happier. If you told him, you know, Mr. Twain, 180 years after your birth, your literature still makes a lot of people uncomfortable. Why, he would consider that to be the best birthday present you could possibly give him.
That's all the time we have for today.
If you missed a part of today's show, you can always check us out on the web at roundaboutu.com.
Or you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm Brianna Sill.
And I'm Shelby Smithson. Thanks for watching Roundabout U.